Okay, so this is the wig block for this. You see that I did cover it with clear tape because I am going to use, of course, a hot glue gun. And I wanted to make sure that it does not get all on my wig block. So these are some Art Mind products. The glue gun was all of $3, and then I think the actual glue was like another $3. Okay, so you're just gonna pin the hair up, and this is pretty much standard for what I did in my last one, which was the how to make a wig video. So this is the only part that you're gonna have to sew, which is we're gonna sew the frontal down to the cap. Now this wig block is a bit bigger than my actual head, so this wig, when it was all said and done, was a little bit on the loose side. And the only reason why it was really on the loose side for me is because my braids were just done poorly, like, because I did them. So I don't have a fresh beehive, so it's more spaced than usual. However, I always say go a little bit bigger than too small, because too small gives you a headache, and then you end up, with an attitude. It wasn't that much bigger though, so I do have another one, which is a 23-inch wig block, which is pretty standard because 21, 20, and 22 are pretty small. Okay, so yeah, just sewing here. Same thing again in the last video that I did, which is how to make a wig. I go in more depth about the sewing that I'm doing, the methods that I'm using, but this is the only time you're gonna have to sew with this entire thing.
Girl, you wasted time thinking you would find what you had in me all the way.
Remember when you put this on, like when you put your frontal on, in my previous video that I just spoke about, I did pull it like a whole lot forward. And for this, because this wig block is made for a like actual head size, this is just not like a general size we're using. You can pretty much put it on the hairline of the actual wig block, and it's gonna come out the exact size that you want it to be. You don't have to pull it forward or anything like that. I cheated mine a little bit more forward, just because I didn't exactly know how this was going to fit me. So just, trial and error purposes. Like literally like a couple of scoots, and that was it. But it was fine. When all was said and done, it was fine. I will need an adjustable strap just to be on the safe side, even though I do got to be glued the front down. A lot of people ask about this lace here on the side, and for me personally, I cut that once I actually apply it and put it on. You can cut the sides, which I've shown in the other video where I'm sewing it. You can cut that off if you like, but for this method, I didn't feel it was necessary because I'm just gonna glue right over it. So whether I cut it off or it's not gonna make a difference, I promise. It's just so not gonna make a difference. Okay, so we're using 3 bundles of body wave, and the reason why I went with this because I did body wave last time, and I think it's gonna be a little bit easier for you guys to understand and see the end result. So you're gonna pin one side and you're gonna measure it. Once you measure it, then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna cut it. Now, take your hot glue gun. I'm using a different one, not the one I showed in the package, but this is the one I still had and I've been using. So you're gonna put it and you're gonna put it down. If you take this glue and put it all the way across the front of this, what's gonna end up happening is the glue is gonna dry and then nothing's gonna stick. So you have to do it section by section. So as you can see, all of this little extra glue you see, it peels right off, so you're fine. So take it, smooth it. FYI, if you are young or you are not the smartest with using hot glue, be careful because it does get very hot. I'm not to burn you in my opinion, but it can. So you see where you pinned it. Now after everything else is glue, you just go ahead and glue that last little piece. I left a bit of a space right there because it's really not going to matter, but I didn't want tracks too close to where my ear tabs are going to be. So you just, because you're going to cut the rest of the cap off anyway. So again, you're going to cut the ends off, then you're gonna keep that pin, you're gonna put it in the back here. I'm making them a little more on the close side because I just want to make sure the fold that I put in this cap is gonna actually stay. And then there you go, right up in there. You get a little bit of glue in the hair, don't worry about it because it peels right out. Then here, glue that piece, and there you go. This wig literally took me 30 minutes. I think it actually took me 25 minutes. I don't even think it was 30. But yeah, make sure also when you're doing this, because this doesn't require any type of for you to sew besides the frontal, make sure that you do not glue your the corners of where your tracks are too close to your frontal, because what you're going to end up happening is you're going to end up like creating this barrier where it's thick all the way around. So keep a little bit of distance between the actual, you can do it in the back, you can make them close in the back, but in the front don't do that. So you see that piece I just measured, I put it aside because I'm going to use it at the top for shorter pieces. So that was bundle 1. So now we're on bundle 2, and as you can see, this took me probably like 10 minutes. So again, we're gonna go here. So always pin through like the last little section of the frontal. Don't leave too much space, but not, make sure it's as close as possible. So here, as you can see, there's a big space in between these two, and I'm doing this because I'm only using 3 bundles of this hair, and I want to make sure that all the hair fits and it's even. So that's why I left that space, but you won't be able to see. Just remember, it's in the back of your head at the very bottom, unless you are upside down, and that's your business if you are. Nobody should know that you have any type of space back there, and it's not very noticeable. But I do like to kind of put them kind of close and then create a space, put them kind of close and then create a space when I'm doing about 3, only because what it does is it evenly distributes the hair without it being very, very sparse at the top and super thick in the back. So here, I'm doing the same thing, just pulling it, boom, 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 hold it, press it, and boom, there you go. I cut a little piece off because it was a little bit longer, and then I just took this piece and I cut it, and I don't know what the end of this was talking about with the weft, and I don't like that, so it got cut. Again, we're going to do the same thing, so you're going to go ahead and pin it, stick it, then measure it. Once you measure it, cut it. Then once you cut it, go ahead and take your hot glue gun and then measure it. Boom. There you go. Hold it. Then go. Grab. And this is great for when you do not have time to sew all night. You just don't have the time or the strength, and you really need to get a wig done for either you, maybe a client, a family member. It's an occasion you're going to end up having to change the wig for whatever reason, or the one you had wasn't working out. This is great. You just need a spare hour and a little, just a little bit of oomph. These art rolls, hot glue guns are great. The only thing that I don't like about these, as opposed to my other one, which I did buy, remember when you guys buy these hot glue guns, make sure you guys buy the right size, because there's a whole bunch, and especially I got mine from Michaels, and at Michaels they have so many different sizes. I brought the wrong size for the gun I brought, which actually doesn't, it has like a clip in the back, so it keeps pressing the stick until it's completely done. These you have to put the next one in when it gets to a certain point and start pushing it, which actually helps push the glue out for the one in the front. So that's the only thing. So that's why you probably notice that I'm kind of pushing my body towards the back of the gun, because I'm trying to make it go. But for $3, you can't really beat that. So then, boom, cut, make sure, and then I'm gonna go ahead and seal this side up. And I noticed that while I was doing this, I was watching Love and Hip Hop, so mine's got a little crooked. So just to even out on out, I just made it a little higher on one side and cut it, and then they're gonna meet on this side. So boom, just took it, hold it. Just remember, do not put it through the whole weft, because you're gonna end up having to peel it off, and then you're gonna be a little mad at yourself, which sucks. So I think I started this wig at like 9:55, and as you can see on the stove it says 10:32. So I'm making great time. I was able to finish this within an episode, which is impossible usually when I'm sewing. And you don't have to do this all the time, but as of recently, because just time restraints, and I just don't have time to sew a wig all the time. I'll do it every now and then, but for the most part, this has been my source, and it works. The only thing is, when you wash your wigs, make sure you wash them like 2 inches from the root down. Try not to get water on this, because water pretty much will help it pull off. I've washed full wigs and had every intention of redoing them, and sometimes I have to really pull to get it off. But if you just are one of those people who you wearing curly hair or something like that, just make sure to not try to get as much water. Product, fine. Water, not so much on on the top, and you should be fine. And this is the best, you know, with quick weave. I don't like to use Natty's glue with this because it does not stick as well. It takes forever to dry. This is a very quick method. It gets straight to the point, and the great thing about it is it does not ruin your hair, but it low key actually seals your wefts.
Someone else to call your own. I should've known. You waited for me. Now I gotta wait for you.
And this was the piece that I showed you guys earlier that I didn't use it because it was too short. Well, no pieces were not used for this particular wig. So go ahead and stick that down, measure it, cut that off, run the glue through real quick, run the back side real quick, and boom. And we were done in less than 25 minutes, about 20-25 minutes. So then, I got to do the last little tip of it, and boom, any extra glue that you see, just pull it and it'll come off. So here I'm just gonna take everything out of it, and boom, there you go. You got your nice body wave, everybody's favorite. And then what I do to pretty much take this off is I peel, I remember to take these. Remember we put these in the beginning, these pins. Remember to take them out and don't glue over them because then you're going to be mad. So peel your lace frontal back and then pull it off. And boom. Kill them. Cut the inside out. So a lot of people were confused. You're just cutting the extra piece that's up under your frontal because you want to put a nude cap on, so you don't want it to look black on the scalp. So you just cut that little piece out, and then bam, got a brand new wig with not too much effort. So as you can see, put it back on. Parting's great, baby hair is great. This was pre-plucked, so I'm gonna put it on just to show you guys, and boom. It looks so good. And then the ear tabs are popping. And the only thing I do is got to be glued it down. Here is a close-up of what it looks like. It's super flat, as you can see. And these little, like, I bleached the frontal when I got it, but just sometimes it don't always bleach. I don't want to leave it on too long because I don't want it to get brassy. I just pluck some of the hairs out the front. And sometimes when I do bleach, my baby hairs will get a little bit on the blonde side, and I don't necessarily like to just bleach over them because it looks, as you can see, a little more natural when you put it on, because some people's edges are a little bit more on the blonde side than they get black. So you just pluck some of them out, not all of them, but some of them. And there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed.